I'd like to welcome you this afternoon to a meeting of the Raleigh Board of Registrars. It is 3 p.m. on Wednesday, November 18th, 2015, and we are here to open the duly posted meeting of the Raleigh Board of Registrars. With the exception of comments that Mr. Toomey may want to make in regard to item number 2 on our agenda, we do not anticipate public input, but we welcome you here this afternoon. Our agenda this afternoon is short. 1, to read and accept the minutes of the November 13th hearing that we held last Friday, and 2, to discuss the open meeting law complaint filed by Mr. Toomey against this board. So we will start with item 1. In your packet is it's about a 5-page set of minutes, and I will cease talking while you read the minutes. You know how hard it is for me to not talk? Is it this noisy on Monday nights when you have meetings? You can hear all the conversation from the other offices.
Do you want to sign in sheet while we're waiting?
I don't think we need a sign-in sheet, because
Okay.
I'm not gonna ask for public comment. It seems to me it's an open meeting. Sign-in sheet mostly relates to who said what at the meeting, and I'm not gonna ask you to say anything. And I wrote down, as I said, it's a small town, and I can write down by your first names who's sitting here. But that's not always true at the larger meetings. I had a sign-in sheet for the meeting, the hearing Friday, but
Right.
it was suggested we not use that. For the same reason, we weren't asking for public comment. So, you got to the end of that, Barbara?
Mm-hmm.
So, you've all three completed the minutes.
Mhm.
Any questions or corrections that you see? Any glaring errors?
I find nothing.
Find nothing, Millie?
Read every word.
Read every word.
Twice, actually.
It is a little more comprehensive maybe than regular minute meetings because I felt it was a hearing.
Mhm.
And so it was kind of a question and answer as opposed to just release of general information. And I certainly didn't get it all down verbatim because I don't write that fast and it would be a 32-page compendium. But we thought we hit
I think it was complete.
as much as we could. So, do we have a motion to accept the minutes as printed?
I would make that motion.
Millie, motion to accept as printed.
I second it.
Barbara, Millie, Barbara. And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That being said, if you could each sign at your appropriate name, and that's going to be the final copy. I would also say that we had a motion at the meeting that we motioned and seconded, and I didn't have the motion sheet made up that day. You signed a little piece, so I'd like to kind of recreate those. It was both by Gordon, motion made by Gordon, seconded by Millie. So we said all in favor, and did we say any opposed? Thank you. I need your signatures. Those are the two motions we made. And And the letter that we signed as a result of that hearing last week, asking the selectmen to go forward, has been submitted to the selectmen. So I just need Millie and Gordon's signatures on that. All right, so let's have. So there are the completed minutes. And Mr. Toomey does have a request for the copies of the minutes, so after this meeting, I will make copies and they'll be available for him when he comes by. Just lots of pages, try to get them all in the same order that they started off in. All right, so that pretty much completes the agenda number 1. The purpose of agenda item number 1 was simply to sign those minutes. So we'll move on to the second item on our agenda, listed on your notebook as agenda item number 2. Yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon at 2:30, and I stand corrected, that's not true. Yeah, Monday at 2:30. Today is Wednesday. Mr. Toomey came by and submitted a open meeting law complaint regarding the meeting that we had on Friday. As I read it, and I didn't know if he would be here today to explain his position. Description of alleged violation. On November 13th, 2015, the Town of Rowley Board of Registrars held a hearing concerning the recall petition. That's simply a sentence, not a complaint. The Town of Rowley Board of Registrars held a meeting on Friday, 11/13 at 10 a.m. without proper notice in violation of the open meeting laws in Massachusetts. And finally, the Town of Rowley Board of Registrars did not hold a proper hearing and violated the open meeting laws and due process violations. So that's description of the alleged violation. The next block is what action do you want the public body to take in response to your complaint? Rescind the certification of voter signatures and abide by the Town of Rowley bylaws concerning recall elections. Impose maximum penalties on the open meeting law allows on the Board of Registrars is what he'd like to see happen. I've included the open meeting law posting, the open meeting posting that we used for that hearing on Friday. That's your next packet. I think perhaps where Mr. Toomey is confused is the one on the top. It's labeled revision number 2. It was kind of a work in progress, and it was revised twice. And yes, if you just look at the revision number 2 page, it was done on November 10th and would not qualify for the 48 hours. But the original one, the one that says Board of Registrars hearing, actually its agenda is to hear and act upon objections filed by Tim Toomey with regard to the recall process. So let's see if we can get you caught up here.
There we go.
So there's revised, but this is the first one. It has a red circle on its time and date. And so the time and date on this one is November 9th, 2015 at 7:37 p.m. So even keeping in mind that there is Veterans Day, it sounds funny, but you know the way we count it out is so simple-minded. It's like being in first grade. But 7:37 Monday to 7:37 Tuesday is 24 hours. Wednesday doesn't count because it's a holiday. 7:37 Tuesday to 7:37 Thursday is 48 hours. I can't figure it out any other way. And so unless there's more to his complaint than is listed on his piece of paper, I can't see that we're in violation of anything. We did, upon receipt of his no, that's not even true. We did add, upon the advice of town council, the second item, to vote to certify the recall petition and submit it to the Board of Selectmen. So that is the item that was added. So that is true, but once it's been posted, it's posted. We didn't change the time of the meeting, the date of the meeting, or even really the nature of the meeting. We just added an item. I can't see, and please tell me if you see a loophole in this, but can't see that it's anything but beyond the 48 hours.
I can agree with that.
We work hard at that, and I take in meeting notices all the time, so I'd be, very embarrassed if I couldn't count 48 hours for the meetings that I set up. And so I don't know what to do with this. I can't see where the violation is. I can send the paperwork as proof of when we filed the original meeting notice, and we're within the law, well within the law. And so I think we're fine, and we need to reject his complaint.
Okay.
Does that sound? I don't want to put words in your mouth. This is a board, but you all agree with that?
That's right.
Yes. I mean, I don't know, were any of you at the meeting last night? There was a meeting last night about open meeting laws, and the basic thing is it's 48 hours and has to be posted, and it was posted.
And what does Mullen say? He agrees with that, right?
As I say, I think Mr. Toomey, to give him the benefit of the doubt, saw that revision number 2 and counted out from there. But if you go back to the original one, it's well. So I have a letter made up pending your vote. Do we vote to reject his complaint? Do we have a motion?
Move that we reject
His
the
open meeting law.
complaint form from Tim Toomey.
I can second it.
You guys are like the A-team. Open meeting law complaint. All in favor?
I
Any opposed? All right. Then we have to respond at some point. The next step is we can't just vote and go home. We have to respond at some point. We have to respond as well to the Attorney General's office. So we put together this form letter, Board of Registrars, Raleigh Town Hall, 139 Main Street, Raleigh, Mass., November 18th, 2015, Mr. Timothy Toomey, 355 Central Street, Raleigh, Mass., regarding open meeting law violation complaint. Dear Mr. Toomey, the Board of Registrars has reviewed your complaint dated 11/16/15 concerning the 48-hour notice requirement for the November 13th, 2015 meeting posting. After review of the open meeting posting in question, the board rejects your complaint as the meeting notice was posted at 7:37 p.m. on Monday, November 9th, 2015, and even discounting the Veterans Day holiday on November 11th, 2015. The meeting was well within the 48-hour requirement pursuant to the Massachusetts open meeting law. Enclosed, please find a copy of the posted meeting notice showing the date and timestamp. We trust this response addresses your concerns. Respectfully, the Board of Registrars, Raleigh, Mass. Does that seem like a document you're
Yep.
willing to
That's right.
affix your names to? All right. So once again, we'll ask you to sign. Barbara's name's at the top because it's alphabetical. Can I have Gordon and Millie sign for that last vote that we took?
Oh, yeah, right.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
That should be Mildred L.
Oh, I changed your middle name?
I did.
Would you be interested in changing it at this point? No? I could reprint it. Could we just,
Fine with me.
let's do that. Just maybe initially so that. We'd be better off without middle initials at all, but I always sign my middle initial. Barbara already signed it. No, yeah.
Ah.
Thank you. So I will send this along to Mr. Toomey, probably by certified mail.
Good idea.
And I will send a copy as well to the Attorney General's office, including the meeting posting and the copy of the open meeting law complaint. Possibly by certified mail. I suppose theirs should go by certified mail, just to prove that they actually went out and that they received them at the other end. And, you know, I said this would be a boring meeting, and do we have any other business to come before the board? I will note that now we have more minutes, and we'll have to have another meeting to have you sign the minutes. And as far as I can see, that could go on endlessly. We'll have to have a meeting that we don't speak. I'm being sarcastic, but it'll just go on endlessly. But I will type up these minutes, and we'll have another meeting. I don't have an opinion when. Next week being Thanksgiving week, probably everyone's busy. We'll see what we have to do. So hearing no other business that needs to come before the board, and asking Millie to sign that before we close. I will adjourn the meeting of the Board of Registrars. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
You're welcome.
And we are good.